Another law is von Resford effect. The von Resford effect, also known as isolation effect, predicts that when multiple similar objects are present, the one that differs from the rest is most likely to be remembered. These are illustrations here. Out of all of these 4 objects that are here, I'm sure that this second one is most appealing to you and you're going to remember it. That's why you highlight when you read, right? For those of us that read the Bible, we highlight when we read the Bible because we want to remember that verse, right? Also, when you're designing, for, I don't know if you guys have noticed, pricing pages, whenever they want to recommend one, they highlight that one. They highlight the price they want you to pay, right? The recommended one, they highlight it. It's either always bigger or there's a banner on it or there's a different color and whatnot, right? Another law of UX is Doherty's threshold. Productivity soars when a computer and its user interact at a pace of less than 400 milliseconds to ensure that neither has to wait on the other. Sounds like physics. Let me break it down. Provide system feedback within 400 milliseconds.
And this
in order to keep users' attention and increase productivity. Progress bars help you make wait time tolerable, regardless of their accuracy. Most times when you're using a product, right, and then you click on something and you're not seeing anything, you click on maybe submit or sign in and nothing is working, you're not getting any response, you're not getting, oh, my internet connection may be bad, all of those things, and then you're just clicking on it and nothing is happening. You're going to close the app and most likely even delete it, right? But if you click on something and then maybe it tells you, oh, system error or internet connection is bad, then you know what is happening at that point. Another example is this: when you click on download on Canva, right? It shows you this. So it shows you how long your download would take. Imagine you click on download and then you don't see anything. You're lost. You're like, is this thing even downloading? Sometimes you won't download multiple times because the system is not responding to the download button that you clicked, right? But this, it shows you, oh, we are downloading your designs. Just be patient until this progress bar fills up, right? Okay, so those are all the laws that I covered. There are a bunch more, and I would like you guys to read it. I'll be giving you guys a resource at the end of this session. So let's go to heuristics. What are usability heuristics? Usability heuristics were devised in 1994 by Jacob Nelson, a well-known Danish web consultant who had observed and analyzed the problems associated with user interface in his teachings and consulting work. So what are heuristics? Heuristics is a rule of thumb or a good guide to follow when making decisions while designing, basically. So the first one is visibility of system status. The design should always keep users informed about what is going on through appropriate feedback within a reasonable amount of time. You can see the illustration on my right. Someone booked a ride. It shows the person that your ride has been booked. It just basically tells you, oh yes, my ride has been booked. Instead of you clicking on book ride and then you're not seeing anything, you're basically going to be frustrated, right? Another heuristic is match between system and real world. The design should speak the user's language, use words, phrases, and concepts familiar to the user rather than internal jargon, follow real-world conventions, making information appear in a natural and logical way. These illustrations are basically icons on a MacBook, right? They basically match the real world. We can easily know that this is a bin, and that is how a bin in real life looks like. This is the same way a calendar in real life looks like. So even if it's not labeled, I already know what it is. This is how a notepad in real life looks like. This is how envelope that comes in the mail looks like. This is how cameras or this is how cameras look like. So I know, okay, this has to be FaceTime or camera or something. And this is how, things that are stacked together look like. And that is the menu on a MacBook, right? So the next heuristic is error prevention. Good error messages are important, but the best designs carefully prevent problems from occurring in the first place, either eliminating error-prone conditions or check for them and present users with a confirmation option before they commit to action. This illustration shows the type of password that this app wants. So the app wants a lowercase, it wants 2 numbers, it wants 1 dash, it wants whatever it is, right? They have listed it there. Because normally, most of us have default passwords that we use, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And then we use it for everything, basically. And then if this application did not put in their password requirements, and I basically just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's going to bring out an error because that is not the password format that this application wants. So to prevent that, just tell the users, this is what you are going to do. This is what you are supposed to do to prevent errors, right? Another heuristic is help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Error messages should be expressed in plain language, not error codes, precisely indicate the problem and constructively suggest a solution. So sometimes we go to some websites and we see error 503, error this, that. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what error 503 means. I don't know what error 404 means. Explain it to me in English, please. Okay, so tell the person, for instance, here it says, looks like this website is moved or missing. Go back. Basically tells me, it doesn't say error 404. It tells me, okay, this is what is happening. Or then maybe you want to send money to someone and then it's showing me error 404. I want to know why my money is not sending, not error 404. You can probably just say, oh, NIBSS is not working at the moment, something, internet connection is not working. Tell me what is happening. Don't show me error 503 or something, right? And also, allow them recover from errors. So maybe they go to the wrong screen by mistake, or they put in a wrong URL code or something. Tell them, okay, this URL, this website doesn't exist. Go back to where you're coming from, and then you can navigate your way from there. Another one is user control and freedom. When it's easy for people to back out of a process or undo an action, it fosters a sense of freedom and confidence. Exit allows users to remain in control of the system and avoid getting stuck and feeling frustrated. Imagine you want to download something, you click on download, and then you discover that, oh, this is not the thing I want to download. And then you're looking for a cancel button and you can't see it. You're going to be pissed off. One's going to waste your data, it's going to waste your time and a couple of things, right? So, and that's why it is better if you allow users to have control. Oh, you downloaded something by mistake. You can cancel it and all of that. You came to the wrong page, you can go back, you can reset the page. That's why this Control Z. You can always undo your mistakes and all of those things. Imagine there was no Control Z on Figma. A lot of people would not use Figma, trust me, because they will be stuck and frustrated while designing. Also, consistency and standards. Users should not have to wonder whether different words, situations, or actions mean the same thing. Follow patterns and industry conventions. This illustration shows perfectly what it is. what it means, consistency and standard means. I just want to log in. These are the things I need to log in. Don't be asking me for my date of birth, where they gave birth to me, where they gave birth to my father. I just want to log in, and these are the things I need to log in, right? Also follow standards, because you are creative. Yes, everybody's creative. We know that. You don't have to make a button triangle or a crazy shape because you are very creative and maybe you can draw. No, follow standards. Make it a rectangle, probably rounded corners. If you don't want rounded corners, leave it like that. Don't be extra creative and then reinvent the wheel in a way that is going to frustrate your users and give your users a bad experience. Another thing is recognition rather than recall. Minimize the user's memory load by making objects, actions, and options visible. The user should not have to remember information from one part of the dialogue to another. Instructions for use of the system should be visible or easily retrievable whenever appropriate. I would use these shortcut examples, right? Sometimes we forget some shortcuts, and then probably we've even used them before, but then we've forgotten. But most applications for good user experience, they remind you. Right here, I'm on Figma, and then there is a shortcut here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's showing me that I can just click on R to restart, showing me options basically. Yeah. So it's showing me that I can just use Z to perform this action instead of me recalling that, oh, wait, how do I actually fit to a certain screen or something? It reminds me that this is what I need to use, right? So it's helping me to recognize what I need to do instead of recalling it by myself. Another thing is flexibility and ease of use. Shortcuts, basically. Hidden from novice users that are using your system for the first time. But shortcuts may speed up the interaction for the expert users, such that the design can cater to both inexperienced and experienced users. Allow users to tailor frequent actions. So if you're a newbie on Figma and all of that, I want to look for plugins, you would probably, I think without the shortcuts, you have to click on like 3 different things to be able to search for your plugins. But if I know my shortcuts, I just press on command / and then I get my plugin menu. He has basically shortened the time that I would need to search for plugins. Instead of clicking on 3 different things, I'll just press command and / on my laptop and get the plugin menu. Another thing is aesthetics and minimalist designs. Interfaces should not contain information which is irrelevant or rarely needed. Every extra unit of information in an interface competes with the relevant unit of the information and diminishes their relative visibility. I don't know if you can see this image on my right. It is a platform or it's a website to book flights, right? You can see how easy it is. It's basically just telling me, okay, put in the information you need to book a flight. It's not telling me, oh, this is the weather today, this is the weather for the planes, these are the planes available. It's not telling me that yet, because I just need to do one thing, book my flights. And it's just showing me, okay, you want to book your flight, this is how you book your flight, period. It's not telling me unnecessary information that I do not need. Minimalist design, take note of that. Another is help and documentation. It is best if the system doesn't need additional explanation, right? If you need to explain your design, you did not design it well, trust me. However, it may be necessary to provide documentation to help users understand how to complete tasks. That's when maybe you've reinvented a wheel, you've done something that is outside normal, right? Make sure that your users can get help and understand with proper documentation. right? Maybe there's something you need to know about the product. Make sure there's easy help, right? So that's why most apps have help center. They have FAQs that you can easily go to and check for any issues you might be having with the product, right? So I've come to the end. I stated the 10 usability heuristics, but there are a couple of other heuristics that were not created by Nelson Norman. Google is your friend. Go to Google, search for usability heuristics. It will give you all the heuristics, including the one for Nelson and some others. Laws of UX, there are other laws. There are like 19 laws. They're important. There's a book. The book is about, I don't know, more than 100, 200 pages. You can read it. As a designer, you need to read things, because not everything that would be shown in a YouTube video or a class like this, you need to read by yourself. So you can go to the website, lawsofux.com. You will see the laws there explained also. You will also see a link to download the book. I don't know whether it's free or not, but you can go there and check. You can also go to Nelson Norman Group. I advise everybody listening to me to actually go to Nelson Norman Group. Subscribe to their newsletter. This is not an advert. It's just me telling you what is good. Subscribe to their newsletter. You're going to get a mail like almost every day. And their mails will help you. They would help you learn what it is you need to know as a designer. Trust me, it's going to help you a lot. Then another YouTube channel I really, really recommend is AM Designs. They have a lot on laws of UX also, and a lot on other parts of design. Then Urban Community Design is also good. You can check them out on Google and, learn more information from them. So thank you very much for sticking to the end of the class. You guys have any questions?